A very good day to all my listeners all across the globe. Welcome back to my podcast, George Nathaniel, and this is George Nathaniel for you. As you'll know, my podcast is all about wellness, progress, sharing experiences, and most importantly, sharing happiness and wellness all across. Well, all my podcast comes with a specific topic. So, what is the topic of my podcast today? Well, today's topic is Get Tough Focus. So, as we enter the second month of 2023, let us sit, let us look back at the month of January and understand how we fared. Let us evaluate how we can do better over the next 11 months. As you'll know, 2023 is something that we set a target for ourselves to achieve as much as success as possible. So, coming back to my podcast, Get Tough Focus. Well, the first thing I must tell you is be like the cliff against the waves. Remember, it stands firm and allows the waves to break, but it does not. So, looking at this real time experience, many of us have actually been and seen it for ourselves. Let us encourage that to get tough and focus over all our goals in life. Like 2023 is a year that we've set a lot of benchmarks to achieve by the end. And looking at the goals that we've set, we will be coming up with specific topics, specific subjects to make sure each and everyone gets the experience, gets all the know how, and with the knowledge share, everyone is able to scale over their own benchmarks or goals and achievements in life. Well, everyone has got goals to accomplish. Each one of us has goals to accomplish. But what is important is to go and make things happen. We need to build the passion around our dreams. Remember, you may be the best at anything. You may be the best at the things that you do. But at the end of it, just imagine if you build passion around what you're doing, if you build more dedication around what you're doing, your dream can be even more beautiful. Your dream can get better. And of course, the passage towards achieving these dreams can get easier and also help you achieve a bigger dream as you go along with your dedication and passion. So, get tough, focus is a phase that each one of us needs to work on. What we need to understand is working towards our dreams, working towards our benchmark, working towards our goals. We all need to be tough. So, we need to get tough and we need to focus. Nothing is ever going to come back to us in life, or nothing's ever going to come as easy as we think it's going to be. We need to make sure that we unwind from things to accomplish whatever we want in our personal lives or professional lives or any spheres in our contribution in life. We need to look at personal development. We need to look at personal growth. We need to look at personal habits, personal contributions. We need to work from the heart of change. So when I say work from the heart of change, I'm saying everything that we need to put in needs to yield into results. So we need to have something called a growth planning action. So looking at or referring back to our topic for today, get tough focus. The most important thing aligned with get tough focus is growth planning action. So looking at growth planning action, what exactly is growth planning action? Growth planning action is nothing but just working on a framework from morning till night over things that we do, over our contribution, and understanding how a focus can fill specific areas or elements in our contribution to make sure that whatever efforts we do, whatever actions we do are positive actions and progressive actions and yields higher results. So, like I say in on my podcast, we need to have key pointers we need to have certain elements of how we do, when we do, how we do. And what we need to understand is that, we need to have a uniformity in our life. So I always talk about key takeaways. Well, get tough, focus is a topic for today. I think the most important key takeaway is to build confidence. If we are confident in what we're doing, if we are confident about how we're going to get it done, and if we build confidence while getting it done, that actually will yield results for us. So, when we talk about the key takeaways, what are the few things that we can refer to? Well, I can say that there are very four basic things. One is the how we assess our activities and commitment. We need to understand that when we assess things, we actually identify the challenges and we work around areas who are achieving results. Balancing objectives. It's very, very important for us to focus on benchmarking and how we can balance objectives. It can be time planning, it can be any course of planning or management. But balancing the objective is very, very important, and everything, all our efforts has to be measurable, and measurable efforts actually yield us results or brings about better results. So when we talk about results areas, what we're actually looking at is when we measure our progress while balancing objectives, while we look at qualitative measures, when we evaluate, how competitive we are in our action, in our approach, that actually drives a higher benchmark for us, that actually pushes us to do better, that actually is a self motivation trust that yes, we can achieve higher goals or bigger goals in life. Remember, we need to fill in the gaps. So when I say fill in the gaps, we're looking at nothing but improvements. Improvements is something that is eternal in our lives. No matter how high we go, no matter how much of success we have, and no matter even when it comes down to failures, there's always a line and scope for improvements. So out here, we need to underline the core areas or factors that can get us better, that we need to work on. So filling in the gap with improvements is something that we continuously need to focus, identify, and be sincere while identifying it. At the end of everything, it comes down to economics. So get tough and focus comes down to economics is as in at the end of everything we're looking at some results. We're looking at some benefits. We're looking at something that is in for us or something that is in over our contribution that we're doing it for others or whatever. So when we're talking about personal lives, it's our personal commitments, personal achievements, personal goals, everything pertaining to personal. When you're talking about professional, it's everything pertaining to professional. When talking to about our contribution, it's everything pertaining to our contribution. So at the end of it, it all comes down to economics. And when we look at economics, we're looking at goals, we're looking at result areas, and you're looking at anything that will benefit us over our efforts. And when you look at simple economics, whatever our goals, whatever our targets, whatever we are working on, it just requires strategy and action and repeated improvisation through development to achieve higher goals as we go along. And remember, as we go along, the higher we go, the goals get even more tougher. So, improvisation and development is something that actually needs to drive the course over any progress in life. So, when we look at economics, we're looking at values. What are the values that we're looking at that is driving all of our efforts? What is the experiences and what is the way to get better in our efforts, in our contribution, or whatever we are doing? So, get tough focus needs an outlining, and that outlining is nothing but growth planning action. And growth planning action is something that helps us with our progress, with our preparedness, and most importantly, it helps us along our goals in life. So, listeners, as you know, I keep my podcast very simple. I keep it very precise because each one of us has different goals in life. Each one of us is working on a different mission in life. And each one of us has a different situation or circumstance in life. But keeping all this in mind, these are just pointers that can help you work over your own dreams, work over your own benchmarks, and most importantly, work towards helping you achieve all your goals in life. I hope you like listening to my podcast, Get Tough Focus. My podcast, as you know, is available across all platforms, be it your Spotify, you beat your Anchor, be it your Radio Public. It's available across Amazon Music, it's on the iStone Music Store, it's on Ghana.com. So practically my podcast is almost on every platform. I also have my blog website which is called georgenathaniel.net. So I have my podcast hosted as well as my blogs. So my podcasts are different from my blogs. Come and listen to my podcast, read my blogs, put in a request, put in a suggestion, share your experiences. I'll be more than happy to come and share it with everyone all across the globe. Life is all about sharing. Life is all about helping each others, and life is about building happiness and wellness all across. I wish each one of you success or whatever you're doing, and by the end of 2023, let's close the year on a high. Let's make sure that we have achieved all our dreams that we have set forth on. So wishing each one of you all a wonderful time ahead. Stay blessed and keep spreading happiness all across. Thank you so much. This is George Nathaniel.